Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk. I'm Heidi Smith, I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the United Kingdom, and today I'm playing with the fabulous Flowing Flowers stamp set. Love this one, it is so pretty, and you've got, because it's a distinctive stamp set, you get all of this lovely imaging, and it really doesn't look very exciting on the stamp set, I'll be honest, until you stamp it, and look how pretty that is. So I have just made a little treat box here using one of our tag top punches to help close it. Just tied with a little bit of ribbon, a little bit on the inside, and then look, it fits a whole pack of these lovely little Easter eggs that you can get. They come in a packet, you know, loads of them in there, pretty pastel colours, and I just thought they were absolutely perfect so because they fitted in, and perfect as a little thank you. I know they're designed for Easter, but hey, you know, you could change the sentiment up to be Easter as well. I've added a little contrast panel just for a bit of fun when you open it up. And yeah, so there we go. I've lovely open weave ribbon. So this is the in polished pink. But what I thought I would do is actually use our fabulous fresh freesia and maybe some Highland heather as well. Let's see how it looks. I might even go for Highland heather and just use the fresh freesia ribbon. I think actually that will probably work best. Really simple. It takes a single sheet of A4 cardstock, and that's either imperial or metric. I will put the information on my blog as always, and the dimensions will be down below this video if you're watching me on YouTube. So you're going to cut your piece of card to 18 centimetres to start off with. The link to the blog post will be in the description box below as well, or just find me flutterbyheidi.co.uk, and we're going to trim that down to 26 centimetres, so it gives us a couple of nice little bits to add on afterwards. Because I'm going to use some Highland heather or maybe fresh freesia, I'm just going to grab a bit of fresh freesia for the top, I think. So the top panel is 5 by 7.5 centimetres, so we'll do that while we're here. So I've said 5 by 7.5, it's actually just slightly under, so if you go to 5 centimetres and just come a millimetre, 4.9, and again 7.5, just drop it down to 7.4. So it's just a fraction under, and that means it just doesn't catch on the sides of your box as well. Once you have got your pieces, let's do some scoring. So we are going to score on the long edge first of all at 6.5, at 10.5, at 18, and at 22. Turn it to portrait, and you're going to score at 2.5. I'm just going to flip that round. I scored at 2.5, measuring on the right hand side. We're going to score at 6.5, at 11.5, 11.5 centimetres, and at 15.5 centimetres. So once you've done that, we're going to do some trimming before we do our stamping, because we want to make sure that we get that stamping in the right place to fit on the sides of our box. So I'm just going to reinforce these with my bone folder. And again, coming down here. And you'll have one end that is slightly longer than the other. That's fine. Because what you're going to do now is do some trimming. So on the shorter end, we're going to cut down the side here, and we're going to cut those two away. Then you're going to cut that outer one. Okay, so cutting those outer three shapes. Some of them are squares, some of them are rectangles. So do the same on the opposite side to that. And then again, this little rectangle here. Again, cutting those straight. Then we're going to create these as tabs. So you're just going to come down to that score line and just cut a little notch out just to help us. So again, same here, cut down, little notch and a little notch. Okay. Then we're going to come down to the other end and we're going to cut straight down the sides there and straight down the side. Cut away this outer piece. Sorry, I haven't quite cut far enough down. Okay, so cutting those two squares away, we're cutting down this square. And same on the other side. So again, it's the outer three, but they are different shapes, the ones at the far end, at the opposite end. So bear with. It will become much clearer once I've finished cutting. There we go. So this is going to be another tab. So again, just trim that. And then I'm going to lay this flat so you can see that trimmed edge. And I always say, if you're doing a box for the first time, what I do, a bit of scrap paper. Look, literally, I've got a bit of scrap paper here. I jot it down in my measurements. That also means I can keep it flat, use it for another project another time. But that's what you're going to have. So you've got a longer section, so you've cut away the outer three. And the shorter section you cut away the outer three, then you've notched. This long edge here, we're now going to pop into our fancy tag topper or any of the other tag toppers. Push that all the way in and just press down just to create that little bit at the top. If you haven't got a tag topper, you could corner around it and just use a hole punch to add to the end as well. So before we start constructing, now what you want is some post-it notes. And great believer in the post-it note for masking. So just pop that there. In fact, we can, if you line it up here, I can do two bits. So I'm going to take my Highland Heather ink. I'm going to take with the floral ones. So you've got a lovely big floral image here. We've got, and I only use the one on my sample, but we've got other sizes here. So I'm going to use a range of those. So for the side, ink it up well. And then I'm going to stamp that top section like so. And I've done really badly by creating a line there. Okay, let's try that on the other one. In my enthusiasm, tap, tap, tap. There we go. There we go, better. Too enthusiastic. Okay, so we've created our side panels, then the end panels. So it's up to you, obviously, which you want to use, whether you want to use the same one or we want to use the smaller one. To be honest with you, I'm going to use this large one because I just love the image on it. So all I'm going to do is just position that central flower on the end there. It's red rubber, so we don't need to be using our Stampin' Pierce mat. You've got that cushioning foam on the back, and it doesn't matter if it stamps onto the tab, but you do want to make sure your post-it note covers at the side because you don't want to spoil your image that you've got there. Okay, then we're going to stamp the top piece here. So again, I'm just going to use that same post-it note. In fact, yeah, let me show you how this one stamps because this one is beautiful as well. Look at that, how gorgeous. And do the same at the other end. Actually, tell you what, let's get to use this one as well so that you get to see these in action as well. So lovely little trio flowers. And there. Okay, just rotating that round. And then to make the sentiment stand out, I'm going to use some gorgeous grape. I'm just going to stamp that centre panel. There we go. So what I've got here is I've got my gorgeous grape. So it's that lovely dark, deep purple. Just pop that in the centre there. Look how beautifully that stands out. And we can do the same on the side as well. So if you wanted to, obviously you could add a tag with somebody's name on it. But as a little thank you box, I think these work really well. So let's clear the decks. Okay. And what I'm going to do first is add my tab to the top here. I'm actually going to add the adhesive. You'll see this is my Seal Plus to the top there. That way I know that this is going to fit. Just add that so you've got a lovely contrast on there. Then we're going to add Stampin' Seal Plus to these tabs. So I'm just coming on the inside and right up on that outer edge. If you're more comfortable using a wet glue, that's fine. It'll just take a little bit longer, obviously, to be finished. If you go over the edge, just make sure you fold in any extra bits as well. And then all we do is just line up those corners. All four corners, like so. Grab some treats, and I've got some extra ones here. Actually, perhaps I should have used Merry Merlot for that. And then you'll find that those fold in, and you've got this pretty box tab on the top. And all I'm going to do is wrap my ribbon around, kind of, I just eyeball it. But by putting that tab in, it just means you haven't got to have a fold-in closure for a change. It's just nice to have something that a little bit different. You could crisscross it if you wanted as well, but I just thought it was really fun to have this instead. Create our bow, and there we have a pair of pretty little boxes, if I get it to fold properly, using the lovely flowing flowers to create a little gift box. And if you'd like to purchase any of the items you've seen, do pop along to my blog, flutterbyheidi.co.uk, or if you look in the description bar below, you'll find links to the products as well. But I've just used flowing flowers, I've used some of our open weave ribbon and some of our basic white cardstock to make little favour boxes that would look beautiful on anyone's table, or to accompany a bottle of wine, or just with a card to say thank you. Thank you for watching. If you don't subscribe already, please hit the subscribe button with that notification bell if you want to find out when I've posted another video. Bye for now.